my name is Michelle. I work in the emergency department at PRMC. I'm going to talk to you today about how to care for a minor burn. A minor burn, it involves the top layer of the skin, and that can be caused from cooking, from a hot surface. It can be caused from steam and also sunburn. The first thing you want to do is to remove the source of the burn. So if you have clothing that is touching or covering the burn, you want to remove that clothing. If the clothing sticks to the burn, you definitely just want to leave it in place. The next thing you want to do is remove any jewelry that may be down away from the burn or anywhere near it, because the swelling is going to make that nearly impossible later on. And then you want to get to a source of cool running water. Put it under that water for a good 10 minutes. What you don't want to do is you don't want to use ice or ice water. That can actually freeze the area around and can actually worsen the burn. If you're like camping and you don't have a running source of water and you have a cooler that has ice water in it, you can dip a rag, preferably a clean rag, into that and use that to cover and just keep replacing, just to make sure that you are cooling that area and stopping that burn. Once you're done running that under the water for the 10 minutes, you want to clean it with soap and water just to remove anything that might be in that area that can cause infection. If the skin were to blister, do not pop the blister, because that blister is actually protecting that skin underneath, and you want to be able to leave that in place so bacteria can't get in and cause infection. If it does blister, then you want to make sure to clean it with a mild soap and water, put antibacterial ointment over it, and cover it with a sterile dressing, and you want to change and do that daily. So if the skin is intact, you can use like an aloe gel or a hydrating lotion and just use as needed to try and keep that skin from drying out. You could use it several times a day. So if it blisters and you don't pop it, but it pops on its own, you can put some antibacterial ointment, place it on your sterile nonstick pad, place it over it, and then you can just cover it with like a Curl-X and just put a loose covering over it. And when you go to tape this on, make sure not to tape over any of the burned areas. You want to make sure to cover the whole area with the Curl-X. Once the burn starts to heal, if it becomes red again and starts having streaks up the arm, or if it gets really tender, if there's any kind of cloudy type discharge coming from it, or if you're running a fever, you definitely need to see a doctor for that. So it's getting to be that time of year again when people are out more and they're having bonfires and they're doing fireworks and they're starting up their grills, and some of those can lead to these more severe burns. When that happens, if there's clothing on, you want to try and get that off as soon as possible. You want to start cooling that area. If the clothing is stuck to the burn, don't remove it. Just get into the emergency department with that. It started to blister right away and it's peeling off, and it's greater than the size of my hand. So that means it's more than 1% of the body, and that is a trip to the emergency department. So the important thing to remember when you have a minor burn is to get it under cool running water for at least 10 minutes. And if it involves the face, hand, feet, or genitalia, you need to be seen. And if it's deep and open, or if the skin sloughs off immediately, you need to get right into the emergency department.